Hi, I am Chidambaram and I'm here to take you behind the scenes with IMDb.
மனிதர் உணர்ந்து கொள்ள இது மனித காதல் அல்ல, அதையும் தாண்டி புனிதமானது.
I would say one thing, the skull I show in the film, you know, the skull of the monkey, actually I got it when I went into Guna Cave for the first time. So it almost looks like a human skull. It's pretty terrifying. Actually, Kamal sir also got monkey skull when he got into Guna Cave, for shooting Guna. And that exact skull he has used it in Hera movie. There is a shot where 3 monkey skulls are placed. So that skull comes from Guna. The challenging day, of course we are shooting in a high altitude place which is cold, and we are coastal people, and every day was hard. We have to wake up very early, when we had permission to shoot Guna Caves, the real Guna Caves, our timing was morning 5 to morning 9 am. We had to finish shoot by 9 am and get out before the tourists and the public comes. So that was a pretty hard part. Every day we had to take all this equipment plus all this crew down the caves, which is a very dangerous place with a lot of holes here and there. If you don't know the exact path, it can be very fatal. A lot of crowd control, a lot of continuity of the background actors, plus rain, and you have to be wet in that climate, and that too such early time in the morning. So yeah, that was the toughest part. So we were very particular about the position of the holes. It's all same, exact same. We just made the cave a 10% bigger for our equipment to move around. We went inside Guna Cave on different climates, different timings of the day to understand the different moods of the cave. And cave is, Guna is one of the characters in the film. So for that also we took measurements inside Guna Cave, we laser scanned it, we did LiDAR scanning, and we took molds of actual rocks from there. Of course, the audience is different, but we are open to all kinds of film, because Tamil also gets a good run here, Kannada gets a good run here, English and Hindi, and so we are open to all kinds of films, and language was not ever a barrier for us. So, and yeah, the audience always has supported movies which are very content driven, and even my first movie Janeman did really well because of the audience. It didn't have much stars, and it was a very unknown director, and still it was received well, and it ran for a good 100 days only because of the audience that I could make the second film. So I'm really thankful for the Malayalam audience for nurturing content driven things and supporting it. My personal favorite is Soubin going down, finding him, Bhasi grabbing his neck. It had more impact than I expected in the theatres, and people were gasping, and people were startled and everything. So it is a very primal instinct that Subhash had that time for defending himself and grabbing his neck. So I think that is the most intense and my personal favorite scene between Bhasi and Soubin. We are not the first team to approach them to make this film. So initially they were very open to share their story, but they still didn't believe it will materialize. So until we started shooting, and we took them to Kodaikanal, and they were very cooperative from the beginning itself, and they gave me all the interviews separately, even their folks back at home, their respective mothers and everything. And I got to watch the movie first day for show with them, and so I was sitting next to Subhash and Siju while watching the movie, and I was looking at their face rather than watching the movie, and they teared up. I started my first film, my protagonist was a director, was Basil Joseph. I don't really think it's a very different process. Of course, seasoned actors knows how to where to stand, when to turn, and the timing of the camera and the lenses which are being used. So how much they will be seen on that. Since they are all directors, they already know all this stuff, and they have been making actors act. So it was easier to direct a director because they have been doing this job. I tell them where they come from, how will they behave, and how is their house, or what is their socio-economical situation. So I build on that, and then I brief them so they know who they are and where they come from. And most of the actors in Malayalam are directors and filmmakers in other ways. So it's a multi-tasking kind of thing, if you can say, what we do in Malayalam. The real friends and the real friends, their chemistry between the real people has to be translated onto screen by these actors. And fortunately, all these actors are also good friends and good friends of mine, and we all like hang out a lot, and so we have a lot of personal relationship together. And since we all know each other and we are like friends rather than co-workers, it really helped me to pull this off. First I went with like the facial similarity, then I went with the acting prowess and everything. So I also experimented with a couple of directors who are not like regular actors. So in the end it all came well because we are all friends in the end of the day. Yeah, it was like in a very initial stage itself I understood that it is a very good tool to narrate the story. I should start it with that song. I should like have the climatic portion in that song. It was very well preconceived, like in the very early stages of pre-production we decided, and we started to like work towards acquiring the rights for the song. So the lyrics means like the lyrics coincidentally mean can be very well placed in the scene. And to say Manidar Unadu Kollida Manida Kadalilla Adayum Thandi, for humans to understand it's not mortal love, it's beyond that. So it can be very well placed in terms of friendship also, I discovered. So yeah, so I always assert this audio is 50% video. So audio supports video. So without audio, like the video is like, I don't know, like it doesn't come to its full potential. The sound design actually transports you to the cave. So the echo, the reverb, and the sound of the bats, water dripping, and the sound of the flora and fauna around it. So that really transports the people to, and through the immersive atmos mixing that Shijin and Fasal did an amazing job. And sound design also, we also asked Shijin to create design a sound for the inside the cave. So it was very abstract briefs I gave, like a sound of roots growing underground. So there is no sound for that, but you can imagine a sound like that. Also a sound of a tummy which is hungry and for a long time, and it's having some burps. It's like it coming from the earth, and the hole is hungry. So we use a lot of motifs like that to really put a character to the cave, to transport people inside the cave. There will be a bunch of boys like in every corner of the world who will end up doing something like this, and they'll get rescued, and friendship and love is a very universal thing. And yeah, so but it's a real story, so I don't know how it will be placed, and if it is entirely fictional, will it get this much acceptance that it is getting right now? That also I am not very sure about. But yeah, remakes, I'm very open to remakes and in reinterpretations. Yeah, I think that should go on its own thing. I don't know, like we have been like conditioned to like work within our limits without like high budgets, or like we were not even like, we don't even think while writing about like while writing a screenplay, a fight with 1,000 people or anything. We can't, so we were always limited by the budget thing, like until very recently. So we had to like fully go for the content only. So so we had to like work from there only. So I think that limitation really shaped us making better and better content-based movies, which are on a small scale. Of course, I have used IMDb. Like IMDb is like a good source to know about movies and who work behind them, and to like really like search for things, and yeah, to find out, yeah, basically like to find out crew from the other countries, and it is a really good platform. I think only IMDb was always there, and I think only IMDb is the thing to always the go-to website to, if you want to know, if you want to find out people who did what in movies, I think. Yeah, and I also like the list IMDb has, which helps me find movies from this whole ocean of movies. Yeah, so I had a great time sharing my experience on Manjummel Boys with IMDb. Please contribute your reviews and ratings on imdb.com.